This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Tuesday, December 29th, 2020. The title of this rant is Trump's Operation Warp Speed Fizzles. Deaths guaranteed to accelerate. So 10 days ago, the guy that headed Operation Warp Speed says, we're going to have 20 million people vaccinated by the end of this year. Which was 10 days away. So today, 10 days later, 2.1 million people have been vaccinated since up until yesterday. And it doesn't look like too many more are going to be vaccinated this year. So they were on target by about 10%. And of course, this part of the vaccination of people was supposed to be the easy part of it. And they had talked earlier in October and November that they would have 100 million doses out there, which means 50 million people would have been vaccinated by the end of December. And what it's showing is that Trump and all of his minions have been way overselling when the vaccine would arrive and how much would arrive and when it could really, really help the population. Because we're heading towards herd immunity because they don't have any other policy besides getting a vaccine out, and they're not doing it very, very well. And it will take time for Joe to get in there before things can actually change. I guess this also proves that, again, as I said before, that you cannot have an ideology. An ideology is very inefficient means of handling or working with a pandemic. Let's just put it this way. Ideology sucks. You have to work with science. So Joe talked about getting 1 million people vaccinated per day for the first 100 days. That sounds well and good. But basically, we need 1 million people vaccinated per day for the first 200 days, just so we could get close to what we would call a herd immunity point. Close is what I said. And in the meantime, vaccinating all those people will not make a dent in the number of people who are going to come down with COVID-19 and be hospitalized and die. So we have a long way to go based on the fact that we've only vaccinated 2.1 million people in this entire month of December. We have a long, long way to go before we can get up to that 1 million per day. And I want to also emphasize, Joe's going to try and take it. He's going to try and run with it. He's got great people working for him, but it's not going to be that simple. There's going to be plenty of snafus and problems along the way, whether it's from raw materials, whether it's in the manufacturing process, whether it's in the distribution process, or what I would like to call, let's say, the point of sale process, because everything's got to be in place to put that injection in at the actual drugstore, at the pharmacy, at a hospital or wherever. So based on all of that, based on the fact that we are in the second wave right now, and then we're just going to be coming off of Christmas and New Year's in the next week or so. In another 2 weeks, we'll have another wave that's coming in, which will be far worse than all the waves we've had before. So it's going to be easily accelerating for the next 2 months. And again, it's going to accelerate even after we get to 1 million vaccinations per day. That might not be, we might not see that get to the point where we have enough people vaccinated for another 200 days. So, man, I'm 67. A lot of people will be getting it before me. I'll be getting it before a lot of other people. Chances are good I won't even get it till May or June. So we have a long, long time to go. And Operation Warp Speed, outside of getting a vaccine, that was great. But the part about manufacturing it and distributing it, et cetera, has been a complete bust. And we have easily 2 months of an acceleration of COVID-19 with accelerating deaths. And we had better be very, very careful for the next 6 months, because this could be the darkest time that we have with this pandemic.